There are 4 things you need to do now to improve your aim heading into Black Ops 6. The first and most important tip on the list is going to be your centering. First of all, what is centering for people that are not sure? Your centering is essentially your practice, your preparation, okay? I want you guys to focus on this middle crosshair right now. No matter what level you are, whether you're bronze, crimson, iridescent, wherever you are, this is the most important thing in my opinion. Your centering. Your first thing you need to worry about is your centering, which is your crosshair. Where is it placed? Where are the opponents coming from? I want you to think right now, if my centering was too low or too high, what would the effect be? Imagine if right now my crosshair, instead of being over there, was down here. What would happen? If the opponent slides out right now, I would then have to react and snap upwards. You see, that's a big problem. Whenever I'm coaching people, I see on their centering, it's always too low or too high. So let's break it down in these gunfights. So as we go across here, because I know he's going to be at that window, what do? I adjust my crosshair. This is really important stuff here. You don't really realize when you're watching a pro play, you see someone like Dashi, oh, his shot's so good, but it really comes down to his centering. That is the first most important thing. As you know the map, I know that window, if I was to have, say I have X-ray vision right now, and I think, where is the danger zone? I would look at the map, I would know, I would understand the situation and say, right, I think they're going to be up this window. So this is the area that I should be focused on, okay? So now we're going to play it out, and you can see as we slide around the corner, you see how our crosshair is placed at that window? That makes the work easier. It makes it easier. So when you're going through, I think the biggest thing about centering that I've noticed when coaching people is the elevation. When they go up or down, they don't really adjust their centering, and for me, that's the biggest thing. Same scenario here. It's just about adjusting. Where do I think they're going to be? So we go through, you can see we know where they are, okay? Now this is where you can use your mini-map, and it can really help your centering. Right now, if we look at the mini-map, it shows him in this right deep corner. So that tells me, okay, he's in the right deep corner. He's in the deep corner on the right. That tells me he's where the vent is. So as I go around now, look what we do. We go around. I can see that he is either still in that corner or he's going to be going towards me because he knows I'm here. So all I do is I center where I expect him to be. We get the kill. Now we go through. Now the next 2 places, I know that they could be in this vent here. So they're either going to be in this vent here or they're going to be in the vent on my right. So let's see what happens. So look, we're going to go through the right. As soon as we get that kill, you see we watch the right. Look at my crosshair now. My crosshair goes exactly where I expect him to be, ends up going right to his legs, and we get the kill. So it's all about predicting the opponent. Centering really is just predicting where your opponents are going to be, using your crosshair, working towards it. How can you improve your centering? What can we do? You know, Black Ops 6 is around the corner. What can we do? Centering is a transferable skill. So whatever you work on now will be applied to Black Ops 6. I would say go into a game and just say to yourself, right, I don't know what happens. I don't care what happens if we win or lose. I'm going to work on my centering purely. I'm going to go around and I'm going to have my crosshair where I expect them to be. Really important. If you actually do this in a game, I guarantee you'll make a difference. This is a perfect example, and then we can move on to the other steps. I want you to pay attention to this right here. This is what I mean by elevation. I think most people have decent centering, but when it comes to elevation, that's where I want you guys to really work on it. Right now, I expect them to potentially be in this window. So look, we check this area for a second. As soon as I don't think anyone's there, look at my crosshair. You see how my crosshair now is going to go up? Look at my crosshair now. You see how it's going up? It's going to that window. Now, it actually could have been slightly better. It wasn't perfect. But I want you to notice something. As I look up now, I'm trying to get my centering higher. Now, if this player was a bit more snappy, if this guy was a bit more snappy here, he probably would have killed me. If this guy was a bit more snappy, he would have killed me, but you see he's not. So we go through, my crosshair's right there, we end up going through and getting the kill. So right there, that guy was a little bit, I would say, slow there, and we got away with it. But we go through, same scenario here. As we go across here, you're seeing constant centering, just making sure it's easy for me to get those kills. Really important stuff there. I feel like most of the time when people work on their centering, they're like, oh, I've got good centering, but they don't really work on it. You want to go through, you want to make the gunfight a lot easier for you. We'll play a few more clips here, then we'll move on to method number 2. Another thing I noticed was your sensitivity has everything to do with your centering. Some people play a higher sense, some people a lower sense. If you look at most pros, they play between 6-6, and the reason why is because your centering is more stable there. I've experimented, I've tried with 10-7, and I like it. I like the freedom you have with certain movements, but I do realize my centering does decrease at that point. So I have decided to go back to 6-6. And if you guys are struggling with your overall shot, this is the first thing I'd practice. Go to a private game, really work on your crosshair and say, right, when I'm shooting these bots, I'm only allowed to use my crosshair and kind of paint a picture based on the minimap. Look at the minimap, think, right, where could they be? Where are the power spots and stuff like that? And that is going to be tip number 1, your centering. Tip number 2 is going to be crack aiming. This is something I'm always trying to mention in my sessions, how to be a bit more stable, a bit more fluid when approaching corners, and this is exactly how I recommend practicing it. It's by using the crack aim tactic. So what it is essentially aiming in and out in a faster fashion, so you're not just standing in a corner. Like this is a perfect example. You see we're aiming in and out. For me personally, it allows me to move around the map a bit faster. Let me explain why. Let's go to the beginning for a second, okay? Most of the time when I'm watching someone, especially when I'm coaching, I would say the gold level, this really applies, but again, it applies to all ranks. We know that the opponent is around the corner here. Now I can see the issue, right? The issue is I'm pre-aiming, I'm holding the angle. Now I need to get to this area here. But the problem is if I let go and I'm sprinting, he will kill me in the sprint. So you want to essentially get to that area while pre-aiming in. Now there's 3 ways you can do it. One is you hold the pre-aim and you walk. You walk. What happens there? You're too slow. You're way too slow. The other one is you let go of your pre-aim, you slide cancel. You're a lot faster. If he catches you in the sprint, you're dead. So for me, the perfect balance, the perfect mix is to do the crack aim technique. So you see how we're aiming in as we're walking like this? This for me is perfect because you're not too slow. You're not running around the corner. You're constantly ready. So not this. This is too much. I'm not a fan, but right here. As soon as we see him, look what we do. We crack aim. We go around. As we go around, we're aiming in. That means I can move with fluidity. I can move with speed. And when I get to the point, when I get to the position I need to be, that you're seeing it right now, I can then kill him. So you see right there? I didn't walk around the corner. I didn't run around the corner. I was simply crack aiming. And when I get that ADS off, I get that initial aim assist as well. Really efficient stuff there. You can sometimes get caught off guard, but it's just about timing it and doing it perfectly. And you're seeing it with practice. We go through, we get back away. And for me, the crack aiming technique is just such an effective way of, to be honest, just maneuvering around the map and being ready. So right there, especially when I'm holding an angle, when I'm holding a corner, I love to do it because first of all, it allows me to focus on my centering, making sure I'm prepared in the right way. And second of all, I get that little snap of aim assist. So right now, as he comes around the corner, I snap back in. I get that little aim assist, that little trigger when I snap around the corner. So for me, it's a really beneficial way of doing it. Just get comfortable practicing it, and I guarantee it will help you improve your gameplay. I learned this from Dashi when watching him shoot bots. I feel like it's a really good way of keeping track of your shot and over improving your aim, especially as an AR player. When you're kind of watching over these power positions, what you don't want to be doing is you don't want to be holding an angle, not moving. You want to constantly be moving and crack aiming, and you want to be difficult to hit. And I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from this is when I'm crack aiming, it allows me to be a bit more mobile. I'm not just standing still. It's not easy for them to hit me. I'm able to be more agile or just more movement in general. And you can see from some of these clips there, like especially when we're holding an angle like that, it really allows me to just, you know, make sure my centering's perfect and we're able to get that kill. In a lot of these clips, they look very similar because I'm playing the main AR role in these clips. What I'm doing is I'm holding power positions and I'm really focusing on maximizing my chances of winning the gunfights. So that's gonna be tip number 2, crapping. I couldn't speak English. I think I said crap aiming. That's definitely what it's called, crack aiming. So the way you do it, like you're seeing here, is just as you go around the corner, we'll go through the first clip because I think that's the perfect example. Once again, just as you go around the corner, simply aim in. And as you're moving, aim in and out, just to basically get to the position you want to be without just holding your aim, just so you're a little bit faster. It allows you to be more mobile, more ready for the gunfight. Let's get right into tip number 3. And now I'm going to go over the formula to win every single long-range gunfight. And what clip's better to start off than a high-rise search and destroy? You're seeing it right now. As we go across, we absolutely beam him across the map. And I want to break it down and show you guys my recipe for winning long-range gunfights. So the first thing you want to do is what I started with it earlier on, is go through our centering. So now my centering is good. I know that they're going to be across the map. The next thing you want to do is focus on strafing and controlling your bullets. That's it. I know it sounds simple. I know it sounds silly. It's the most obvious thing, but it's about really thinking about it. So right now you can see I'm not standing still. I'm moving left and right. That's the first thing. You see I'm moving left and right. The next thing is we are countering our recoil. So as my recoil goes up, we are moving down with it. And you want to get into a rhythm. So look what we're doing. We're strafing as we go left and right. We're moving our right stick down. And I want you to think about it like this. I want you to think about your bullet like this. This is your initial crosshair, okay? Right here, this blue dot. As you strafe left and right, okay, as you strafe left and right, this blue dot's going to move left and right. So your aim is moving. So all you need to do, let's just use this as our analog stick. As you move left, you want to move your analog stick a bit right, okay? So as the blue dot moves left, you move it a bit right. As you move right, you move it a bit left, you see? Now, when the natural recoil goes up, what do with our analog stick? Remember, we do the opposite. We want the blue dot to stay where it is, right? So as it goes up, we move it down. As it goes left, we move right. As it goes right, we move left. you're simply doing the counteraction. That's how you want you to use your analog stick. Your analog stick is simply just countering your natural recoil, your natural movement. So as we move right, we're moving it left. As we move up, we're moving it down. That's it. Nice and simple. We go through. And another thing we're going to do is combining the angles. For me, angles is everything. When it comes to long shots, you want to make sure you're getting a clear shot. So let's go through. So right here, you see, as we back away, I can see him in the distance. I can see he's over-challing. So we're simply going to just commit to the gunfight. Once again, we're strafing. It all comes down to very similar mechanics. Long gunfights for me, I'm quite confident in because I know when to disengage. The next thing is going to be the tap fire, which we're going to go through after, but we can kind of mention it now. In these certain gunfights, instead of spraying my shot, once again, we'll show you with the recoil pattern. So right now, to come around the corner right here, you see there's an opponent up there, okay? If we were to shoot right now, so this is our blue crosshair. Let's say when we aim up there, if we just keep shooting and we control our recoil, what happens is the aim goes up and up and up and up and up, okay? It goes up and up. If you shoot all like 30 bullets, it will go up and up and up and up like that. That's your recoil pattern. That's not really what we want. But what you can do is you can shoot 3 bullets, 3 bullets, 3 bullets, 3 bullets, you see? So that way, after 12 bullets, your aim hasn't gone too much up. You shoot 3 and stop, shoot 3 and stop, shoot 3 and stop. If you shoot, say, 15 and stop, 15 and stop, you see your recoil, how much different it is? It's because the more bullets you shoot, the more your recoil bounces around. So I want to show you what I mean. Look at this. You see how we're essentially tap firing? I'm not changing. I want you to pay attention. I'm not changing this bit here. I'm not changing it to single tap. I'm just tap firing the weapon itself. I'm making sure when I'm shooting in, like I'm manually just pressing the button twice. Look, press it twice, stop. Press it twice, stop. As we're strafing, we're pressing it, and it just makes the long shots even easier because your weapon isn't going all over the place. So yes, you may be shooting less bullets, but they're a lot more accurate. So we're going through, you see we're holding the angle, and another thing in terms of long shots, what I always find as well, really valuable, is I want you guys to think of the bullet drop and just overall using the enemy's movement to your advantage. So as they're going forward, it's really strange one, okay? Because there's not really like a formula. It's just kind of a feel. But right now, as they're going forward, you want to shoot slightly in front of them. It's really weird to explain. But like right now, as they're coming out, what I don't want to do is this. I don't want to shoot right here and keep my aim there. As they're running across, I want to shoot a second in front of them, a second in front of them, a second in front of them. So that way, as they're running, I'm essentially hitting in front of them. That way, as they're going across, you're going to end up hitting more bullets. You'll realize when you watch the pros, oh, they actually shoot in front of them when they're running diagonal. Now, if the opponent was running towards me, it's easier. Imagine if this opponent was on the bridge. If this opponent was on this bridge here, okay, every shot I hit is going in a straight direction. So it doesn't matter what I do. All I have to do is hit shots at him. But when someone's going across your screen, that's when it's more difficult. Why? Because when you shoot there, he's gone here. You see, when you shoot there, he's gone here. So that's when you want to do a little bit of a bullet drop and shoot just in front of them. Let me show you what I mean. Look at this. You see, we're going to wait. We're strafing. And look at that. I'm actually shooting at the front of his body. It's so important. I'm not shooting at the back of his body. I'm shooting at the front of his body. I know it's a really weird, really niche thing I haven't really covered before. It's something I've realized when looking at my own gameplay. Oh, when I'm having those long shots, sometimes I find success, but I'm shooting in front of his body. So look where the bullet is and look where he is. We're shooting in front, in front, in front. We're shooting the furthest forward part of his body instead of the back. That way, if he's leaning forward, we're able to get the kill. So long shots for me is a very crucial skill to have, and it's all about controlling the gunfight, making sure you're shooting at the right time, making sure you have the right cover, and just really controlling the gunfight with the long shots. Very, very important. Let's go into the final tip, which is tip number 4. Into the final tip and my favorite tip. This is going to be the tap fire, the burst fire, whatever you guys want to call it. And it's something I get a little bit of hate from. I've seen some of the comments on my shorts and TikToks, and people, they don't really understand it. So I thought, you know what, let me explain it to the audience and tell you my thought process behind it. So this is a perfect gunfight to break this one down. In this scenario, we can see the enemy destroy. He's behind this piece of cover. So what I'm going to do right now in this situation, okay, is I'm going to use this as a guide. So right, where do I expect him to come from? So he can either jump. If he jumps, he'll appear over there, okay? So he will appear in one of these areas here. If he doesn't jump, he'll come through the right side or the left side. So now my brain is going to think, right, in this moment, what is the most likely scenario? Now, I think he's probably going to jump here to get the information. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, right, he's probably going to jump to get the information. It's more of a natural habit that people do. So when he jumps right now, I'm not going to spray or shoot crazy bullets. All I want to do is hit him once or twice. And this is where the tap fire, the burst fire is really important, okay? It's about shooting your weapon in bursts of 3 or 4 or 2 or 1, whatever's comfortable for you, because it allows you to control your recoil at range. So just like I mentioned like a couple of minutes ago, Your natural recoil pattern is this. This is your weapon. Your natural recoil, every time you shoot, it goes up and up and up, and it, depending on the weapon, can curve like that. If you shoot the weapon in bursts of 3, then 3, then 3, then 3, then 3, then 3, this is the recoil pattern. You see the difference? This is a lot less spread. So your whole aim, your whole point is when it's more difficult gunfights, is to just single tap your shot. And you're seeing it right now as we approach this corner. I want you to pay attention to this first gunfight. Sorry for rewinding it. That's not me. But right here, you see how, as he goes through, look, we're just hitting one shot. That's all we need to do. Now I've hit him twice. I know he's very weak. Look what we do now. We hold it. We hold the angle. Right there. You see how we tap fired that? We gave him tester shots. We were just doing some tester shots because I was just trying to expect where is he going to be. So we shoot once, shoot twice. Now, if I was to pre-fire this, let's just say I was to pre-fire this area here. Let's just say I was to pre-fire right here. I think he's going to jump up and I pre-fire it. The problem is if he, first of all, if he sees those bullets, he's not going to go there. The second thing is if I miss a shot, let's say because he jumps over there, I'm going to like basically misplay the situation. He's going to, you know, heal up. So instead, I'm going to play it patiently. I'm going to wait. As soon as I see him, I'm going to shoot once. Because you see we're pre-firing? We're pre-firing where we expect him to be, and we're just single tap firing so that my recoil is ready. There's no recoil. As soon as I see him, I can single tap fire. And you're seeing the same thing here. We go through, and look at that. On the head glitch, we didn't spray our shot. We have to be so precise on this head glitch because it's a very small area. It's a very small margin of error here. So even if I shoot and control my recoil, the likelihood is the bullets are going to go higher. Look where I can shoot right now. There's only a small area to hit. There is only this area to hit. That's not a large area. Right there I have to hit. So if I was to shoot and control my recoil, what happens is this. My recoil goes like this. Okay. My natural right stick aim goes like this. So there's a bit of back and forward there, you see? So there's a little bit of a friction there. So yes, your recoil will be controlled. It won't be perfect, but look at me doing this. When I shoot one bullet, I know exactly where that bullet's going to drop. It's going to go right there. So we shoot a bullet and we stop and we shoot a bullet again. And that is a single tap fire. You don't have to do this all the time, but areas like this, when there's a head glitch, when there's something that you're not really confident in your shot, you think it's going to be difficult to kill, just go for a single tap. Just shoot once or twice, and look at that. We slow him down. We're aiming at his head. Look, we're shooting once or twice, and we get the kill. You only have to connect 5 shots. That's it. Look at this. Go through, single tap fire. It's so easy to control your recoil. This is at their very long range, those difficult gunfights. Right now, we see him on a head glitch. Single tap fire, and look how smooth it looks. Now when I say the term single tap fire, you don't have to shoot 1 at a time. You can shoot 2 or 3 or 4, but you don't want to shoot 10 or 12. So right, this is perfect. This gunfight here is a perfect example. I'm going to show you this again, and we're going to go for it slowly. Okay, so the gunfight there, again, I'm rewinding about 10 seconds, so sorry for showing you the same gunfights again, but it really comes down to just controlling it. And this is what I mean. Right now, he's out in the open. There's 2 gunfights. This guy's out in the open. Because he's out in the open, he's not in cover, and I'm literally having the advantage. I'm going to shoot as much as I can to kill him. I'm not going to do the single burst fire here because I don't need to. Okay, there's no point stopping and starting. He's out in the open, so we're going to do it there. We're going to kill him. However, this player here, he is behind a head glitch. Even if I control my recoil really well right now, even if I shoot my weapon and it goes up, the recoil goes up, and I control it going down, it's still going to bounce a little bit depending on how well I control it. Now, there are really good players out there that control this shot, but for me, I feel more confident shooting and stopping because the natural recoil pattern, I'm so sorry for doing it again, you guys are probably sick of that, but I'm sorry, but yeah, the natural recoil pattern is a little bit difficult to predict on those gunfights, but this is so much easier for me. Look, just shoot once, stop, shoot again, stop. You see? A lot easier. Same thing here, especially on head glitches. I'd say at medium to long range on head glitches is where it really shines. And it's just about having it in your locker. Like if you can have this in your locker, the single tap fire, you'll find so much success. Whenever there's a person in an awkward gunfight, I think an awkward gunfight is a great way to put it. And even right now with the MTZ, this is a really fast, strong weapon. So you're going to see how we change it up a little bit with the MTZ. And this is really interesting. With the MTZ, you see how it's a fast weapon? So we're going to shoot in bursts. So look at this guy. We can just spray out, but instead I'm going to shoot and stop. Shoot and stop. You can see how fast the bullets are. We're actually shooting and stopping, and it just makes it easier for me to control. Nothing else. All I'm doing is shooting, stopping, and that way, at that long range, the recoil goes back to the sensor. If you guys want to aware, when you shoot an opponent and then you stop shooting, your recoil bounces back to the middle, and that's the key thing there. That's the thing I want you guys to start practicing. And you're going to get it wrong sometimes. I get it wrong all the time. There's certain times where I get it wrong because I do it in the wrong situation, but the more you practice it, the better you will become and the easier it will be to predict. Look what happens right here. We find an angle. If I was to shoot this player right now and I miss a shot because my weapon bounces, he'll get into cover. But look what we do. We take our time. We single tap fire. Do you guys notice what we did? We shot a few bullets. We stopped. We held it and we hit another bullet. We're just single tap firing and look what happens. We get the kill. Again, single tap fire is the most extreme version. You can shoot 2 bullets at a time, you can shoot 3 bullets at a time. It just depends on the scenario. You just don't want to shoot 20 at a time if someone's behind a head glitch, because you're more likely going to miss. YouTube, that's going to be 4 tips to help improve your aim, improve your shot heading into Black Ops 6. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, and I'll catch you guys for another one tomorrow. Peace.